Hey guys, welcome to Model Netizen here. My name is Herman.
And I'm Valerie.
And so basically this is a podcast about the K-pop industry, which is just something we're really passionate about. We've been into the industry for a couple of years now. At least me. She's been into it a little longer. We're siblings, brother and sister. She dragged me into this black hole. But no, like, the idea for this podcast kind of started off with, we would have these conversations every single day, just like, why did JYP make this decision, or YG or S, whatever label, what are they thinking? And like, it would get really in depth because personally, I think about things on more of a business standpoint. So basically, if you want to kind of come up with some lingo for it, we're kind of like, our goal is strategy and creative consulting, aka we're spilling the tea, but constructively. And so I was going to start this podcast off first on my own, just like as a channel on YouTube, right? And go topic by topic. But what really mattered to me was the dynamic between us, where things I would say she would balance out and vice versa. Like, for example, today, big, like, broad topic. Why did I like I was like a stranger? Oh, sorry. Like, big, broad topic, we're just gonna be talking about general mistakes that the K-pop labels, the heads, the companies, the mistakes that they're just making, that we're observing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys see, and you're like, what the hell's going on, right? And specifically, we might be tackling more so the big three. If we have some time, I'll go over to some small ones. I guess just jump right in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
So first we have YG, and we've noticed there's, especially last year, there was this trend that they had going on where like the artists only release singles for the most part, except like the more veteran artists, so like Taeyang, GD, Psy, and then that's it, right?
Wait, of albums.
Yeah, and then Bobby, actually, yeah.
Bobby got an album.
Yeah.
But
everyone else got singles.
Only singles. And it was a trend where they would be double singles. Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, Akmu early in the year released Dinosaur. Winner, even before that, Winner released Really Really. And then they released Love Me, which is, I just realized now that I'm singing it out loud, they're both like double.
Uh-huh. And then Icon and
then
Blackpink.
Icon did New Kids. And then
Blackpink just...
Well, Blackpink got one.
Yeah.
Lol. Sucks to be a Blink.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah, no, we just noticed, like, why the hell is YG, releasing specifically only singles? Is it
for the money?
Yeah. Is it like a thing where he just doesn't have the I mean, he has the resources, let's be real, but you know what I mean?
Or is it a thing where, like, he wants to say that he put all these groups on comebacks and stuff, but, like, he doesn't want to do all
the
out,
actual...
all out albums, back to back, because that would be a lot. Which,
by the way, actually, this is a thing that we've been questioning, but, today, well, by the time we put this out, it'll be like 18th, 17th-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit later. Mm-hmm. So Icon's about to come back with a full album, and supposedly Winner, we really don't know what Winner's going to do yet.
February,
we don't know. And then Blackpink, well, we don't know still.
Well, after Winner, they said.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's going to be a fucking single.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But basically, so Icon's getting more love now, but obviously that's just because it's now.
Did you see the notification?
Which one?
For the new thing. BI is going to produce.
Oh, yeah. With Millennium?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I love BI. I look up to idols who produce, write, do. So, for example, like, one of my favorite idols of all time recently is Uzi and Hoshi from 17, because they're hands-on with 17's work, you know what I mean? Same with BI with Icon, obviously. Mm-hmm. So that's like the first thing. It's just like, that's the first thing. It's just like, why YG? What are you doing? Why these singles? And like, not even like, if there was like an actual, like, if YG did some SM shit where it was just like, we're gonna release or day 6 rather, we're gonna release a string of singles, YG family, like. Mm-hmm. Everybody from Big Bang even, and the soloist, if they wanted to, all the way down to, like, one, the most recent guy.
You mean, like, monthly, or just, like...
No, just, like,
in general.
For 2017, which was obviously the year that just ended, we're gonna take over all this shit, but in the format of singles. So like continuous singles, and they can do maybe more.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you know how the normal way,
collaborations would be cool.
or even yeah. Like, please YG, give us another GD and Top album and a GDTY. Anyway, that's my thing. Is like, you know how they do like usually like albums and then repackages.
Yeah.
They could have 2 comebacks, but singles.
Does YG do repackages?
Hell no. He's never done. Oh no, with Big Bang he did a couple.
But like back then, like way back then, I feel like. Yeah, I've never seen.
Yeah, no, actually that's a good point. I never even observed that. That's a good point. That sucks. So yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing we want to talk about was like, and this is one that actually we're a little bit divisive on, believe it or not. So the second one is the fact of how YG kind of confines his artists and his brand to have this hard, tough, dark image. For example, I think that that's a bad idea from a business standpoint, from like a branding, marketing standpoint. But you actually don't care. Like it seemed like based on
I feel like it's just
what it is.
It is what it is. I don't agree with it, but like I understand like where he comes from, kind of like he wants to have this brand,
like a brand.
The only thing is that rather than like, I feel like with JYP, there's like this vibe, if that makes sense, and that's the brand. Whereas with YG, it's more specific. It's like you have to be hard, you have to be this, you have to be that to fit into the company.
What I was going to add to that, unfortunately, we saw that with like Taehyun. We saw, by the way, when the camera's blinking like that, it's just going to go into a new file.
Okay.
So don't panic. Sorry, this is going to be probably super unedited. We just want to have like a real natural flow. Like we're going to be editing it and making it all fancy. Like as we mentioned, artists like bring them up and everything like on the like pictures. But for the most part, and it continued. We're just going to be unedited, unfiltered, natural combos.
Yeah.
But anyway, unfortunately, what I was going to say, we saw that happen with like guys like Taehyun from obviously it's now South Club. You go back to watch Win, the survival show, and he was like, you would never thought that he was the way he is.
Yeah, they showed like audition clips, I believe, in that show, and like he was like this like show tune, like
theatrical
goody good,
kid,
like theatrical kid, and you could tell like he did not fit into the company, and like he was kind of forced into like reshaping himself as an artist to fit into YG,
which is part of the reason why we think he left.
Yeah, like we felt that
it wasn't real.
Yeah, and like he, ever since then, like sure he could have seemed like he fit into Winner with YG or whatever, but like obviously in the inside it's like completely different, you know. Which,
by the way, since this is natural flowing conversation, I would actually argue that Taehyun was fine in Winter, right? Because you had SS 2014, which was just like tailored wear. That was like the aesthetic. It was like high end, like bespoke suits and menswear. And then you had like the damn fucking photo book was like a runway thing, right?
No, yeah, it was
so,
really
like
nice.
A modeling thing. Then you had, but Exit, I would argue that Exit is low key his whole thing now.
Yeah, low key. Yeah. The thing is,
it's probably more. We fully acknowledge it's always deeper than what we think.
I think with him, he like just hated being an idol.
Yeah.
Like he was fine. He was probably fine with like making the music and like even with the aesthetic of Winner.
But there was something else.
But yeah, I feel like he just did not like the whole vibe of being an artist or an idol.
Under that, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that
like framework.
A few weeks ago, actually, I was watching like old Winter V lives with like OT5, and he just seemed like a lot of times he was out of it, and like there were moments where like he literally stepped out just because like
just to like not be in the camera.
Yeah, in the camera. So like just that like little like moments like that, you could tell he just did not want to be a part of the idol life. So
like now he's completely doing whatever he wants. He's independent as South Club. He doesn't even have a V Live.
No. Well, he just
has Instagram.
He has a radio show on V Live.
That's cool because at least he's getting work.
Yeah.
That's the difference is that V Live is more like promotional marketing, keeping in touch, social media, blah blah blah. You know, connecting with fans in a way that maybe he didn't want to do, right?
Or if he does it, he wants to be in full control.
Or yeah, he wants to do it his way. And that's what this show is about. It's the why, right? What we just said, like going deeper, right? We don't just want to be like, YG is not feeding us with a Blackpink comeback.
Yeah.
Like we want to actually think about this and hopefully like, you know, you guys, if there's anybody obviously watching as early as the first episode, kind of respond back and be like, oh, you know, what do you guys think? Literally, not to sound like those YouTubers who are like, comment down below, but like literally, you know. And so yeah, that's kind of wrapping that thought up. It was just like he confines his branding to this image. But that's actually, if I can bring this up to close that, that's slowly disappearing, right? Because when we had Lehigh signed and then Akmu, and then the way that Winner debuted as like more like regal and like proper,
still hard, but
still
like
hard, but
not
different.
so like swaggy hard, you know.
But then we had Icon.
Yeah, but that's a different story.
Like Icon in. This is another thing we joked about earlier. It's like, we're not going to do like these intros like, yeah, I'm going to school for this. I got in, my first artist was this. My favorite artist is like those like details about us. Those like getting to know us, that'll come along the way. So one of those things I loved, like I remember the way that I get into artists is I do like marathons of them where I just watch all their videos in a row, like in order. And I watched My Type in Airplane, and I was like, I looked at her and I was like, dude, this is like Winner Part 2.
Yeah.
I love this. And then Rhythm Talk came on, and I loved it, but it was a distinction. It's the distinction. So that's all I was going to say, was I would argue that, like, Lehigh, Akmu, and One, sort of, he's, again, hard, but not, like, he's like tough, you know?
like smooth.
Smooth, like...
laid back.
Yeah. That's slowly diversifying, I think is the right word, which is good. Speaking of an artist that is not hard, that is in YG, that is trapped in the dungeon. What the hell is going on with Katie Kim right now?
Yeah. How's the dungeon?
How's the dungeon like?
How's Blackpink doing?
Ginny had enough Millie rocking, and you know.
Yeah.
Millie rocking in a corner with rats and snakes around her in the dungeon. See, the thing is that like Katie Kim, for those of you who don't know, she won Show Me the Money, or not Show Me, wow.
No.
Wrong K-pop star, season 4 or 5 or 3, something like that. And she got signed to YG. She's amazing. She got signed in 2014, I think it was. She was featured in, for those of you guys who know, Bobby's solo album, the one that just came out, on a track called Secret. She has a great voice, and she like looks good. Like she can be an idol. She has the same kind of vocal aesthetic as Lehigh, like where it's that dark, like soul kind of tone. And she was featured on, if you can, just Secret only. Oh, there was one more thing, wasn't there? She was she did a cover of a Winner song when they were releasing Exit. You know how to promote it, they had different YG artists covering their music. She did one of those.
Baby.
I think it was Baby. No. She did Sentimental. She did like a slow, like sultry version.
Yeah.
So you guys can check out Secret by Bobby, and then her cover of that by Winner.
And that gave her a lot of attention, didn't it? Because that was in 2015 when she got signed. So.
I'm sure, like, we were there for Blackpink's debut.
I was there in the showcase at 4 a.m.
In the showcase, yeah. She goes hard, like, with this stuff. So what I was going to say was, people, I'm sure, were anticipating that she was going to be in Blackpink. Like, YG said new girl group coming out. People are like, Katie Kim's sure hit.
Was she in the lineup for Pink Punk?
Pink Punk? That's not 100% confirmed. But I would assume she was. Because why not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so, here's another crazy thing.
Or was she always going to be a soloist?
I want that. I wish. I wish that she was a solo artist, but I wish she was in a group. It's this weird double scenario. Yeah. Here's the thing. When YG signs an artist from K-pop star, they have to debut the next year. That's how the story goes. So that's why Lehigh debuted the next year. Akmu debuted their next year. But she didn't. Which just kind of goes with my theory of how she was supposed to be in Blackpink. He was saving her, but that didn't happen. And, I mean, I guess that's all for Katie Kim. We're just like, dude, this is a mistake not debuting her. Like,
where is she?
By the way, at this point in the time, in January, 2 trainees left YG who were supposed to be in Pink Punk.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be in Pink Punk, and nothing's going on, and they left. So we're hoping that does not happen with Katie Kim.
Stay strong.
Stay strong, please. Let's take us on to the next topic.
Okay, so as we can also tell, he debuted a few months ago, and he came back, or he debuted with a very laid back nice, smooth double single.
Both
yeah.
double single, which is another one of the singles that YG released. Yeah,
and you know, like we were all digging it,
all about it.
Yeah, all about it. And then Bobby debuts also as a
like
soloist.
literally 2 months later.
Yeah, like so like quickly after.
Yeah.
And wasn't it like the same vibe almost?
Yeah, the thing about so we don't know what one really can do because he doesn't have a freaking album.
Yeah. Well, we've seen Show Me the Money.
We've seen Show Me the Money.
And he
can do, yeah.
He has those bars. But
Fire.
Obviously I feel like they made him calm down a little for this debut, which I don't know if I agree with, or if I would have agreed if Bobby debuted with a more harder hitting thing, not so similar to one.
Because his album was Bobby's album was like, not how this, like, people like to look at the Bobby album and they think like, oh, the singles were kind of like what you're saying, more like laid back, but the album was more like trap. Like the way that I put it one day on the car, on like in some car ride we were in, I was like, Bobby's album sounds like it was influenced by like what we call mumble rap, like Lil Uzi Vert, you know, Lil Yachty, Kodak, like all these guys who like kind of are, you know, quote unquote defining what trap sounds like today. Some songs sound like for example, there's a track with Mino featured and they're just like mad, like going off, right? Like turning up. That's where I was conflicted with. It's like that's why I love Bobby's album. The album.
Yeah. But what if
I don't even hear the singles. Like that's just me actually as a person, is like I'm more of a B-side kind of guy.
Yeah.
Overall.
Same, yeah.
But yeah, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
If one did an album, how
would it go?
Yeah, like if it would have also been similar.
It probably sadly would have,
Yeah.
because one is kind of like low-key the weird homie. Like for those of you guys who know, like the way I like to compare it is like how Taeyong from NCT raps, where he's just very like loose flowed, like you know what I mean,
like eccentric,
weird, like
yeah.
crazy. Like listen to the song he did before debut. What's it called? Where he like laughs in the beginning, like freaking Joker shit. And some rookies.
I forgot the name.
While she's looking that up, it's just very like, it's like if the Joker was a rapper. Like it's very like wacky and like, but like
open the door.
Open the door, I think is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And he has a song with Hitchhiker.
Yeah, that one it's good, it's lit, but it's dank.
It's dank.
It's very weird.
And one is low key. That's kind of what we're talking about. One has like this weird, like loose, like slippity slidey flow.
Yes.
For those of you guys who are involved in music, you guys know there's no real words to describe certain things. So like we say that guitar is chimey, that piano is woolly. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no way. So you guys know.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all. It's just like YG, like the mistake we consider is like, why did you debut one, which is a great thing. You debuted this artist, this new artist, and then you debut because as a soloist, Bobby, one of your best artists. Debut a great artist, but there's not much of a distinction.
Yeah.
Their personalities come through, but there's not much enough of a distinction.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we think that he could have structured that a little bit differently.
Also, there could have been more promotion for one. I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like
he was on Dara TV.
Yeah, on Dara TV on the makeup show or whatever, and like.
Which was funny. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Please watch it.
He was with Mino and Bi, and it was very interesting. But like, please more.
More.
Yeah,
right.
or like a comeback or something.
Right. Which you just said the word comeback.
Yeah.
That's our next thing, dude. YG, what are you doing? You barely give your artists comebacks. Our camera stopped recording for some reason. We're on a Canon 7DD. Yeah. Hey, let's pretend like nothing ever happened. You just said the word comeback. Yeah, like that's our next thing. It's just like YG, like what's your whole thing? Like you barely give your artists the proper comeback. But what happens when they do come back is they're like on no shows. Yeah. Like they have SBS and recently NBC.
Like about a year ago, I think.
Yeah. But like we would like, because what's the show schedule again? Like the days?
Yeah, Thursday is M Countdown. Friday is Music Bank. Saturday is Music Core. Sunday is Inkigayo. Monday is the show, and I believe Tuesday's the only day without a music show, and then Wednesday is Show Champion, and they only go on two of those out of the 6 music shows in the week.
That is low key garbage. Like we believe, like you ideally you should be on every day.
Yeah.
During your cycle, obviously, right? Promotional cycles are how about like what, 3 weeks on average?
Like 5 weeks.
5 weeks. So
About.
I know that sounds tough, right? 5 weeks is not short, but if you really want to be out here, like if you're a label, if you're a company, and you want your group to be seen by as many people as possible, right? Mm-hmm. You would ideally be on as many of those shows as possible. Yeah.
And same with variety, everything.
Yeah, because we just mentioned music shows, but variety shows.
Yeah, variety, reality, just do everything.
What's Knowing Brothers on?
JTBC.
Okay, because they're okay with them too.
Yeah.
Because like Tang Mino did it.
And isn't fucking Mix 9 on JTBC?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, GTV.
Which, by the way, Mix 9 is its own damn episode. Like, Mix 9 is not on this list. Like,
it's a fucking mess.
Just pretend like we're talking about it. We're going to touch on it soon. Yeah, don't worry about that. JTBC. So, like, sub-bullet points we have is just, like, Lehigh objectively was set to come out with the comeback in November of 2017. Like, like, not, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, stated.
Yeah.
Casually.
No, yeah, casually,
but stated.
That type of stuff you shouldn't take.
You take it with. You don't take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You take it literally.
YG has made it so that we have to take it with a grain of salt.
Which sucks.
Usually with other labels, you can like be confident in what they're saying and believe them, but like not with YG.
Not with YG. So that didn't happen. Point blank. Long story short, that did not happen. And even worse than that, our next bullet point here, guys, CL, as of, like a couple days ago?
Yeah.
We're recording this, by the way, on the 13th of January, for context. Literally last week, CL leaked a song that had a finished MV, had a finished music video. And she didn't release it. She didn't get to release it. YG, whoever, not the guy YG probably, but like the higher-ups, the suits, the guys in the executive boardroom. She had the finished song, mixed and mastered, MV shot, and she was like, guys.
Yeah, I just never saw the light of day, but she's that type of person where like, I feel like.
Did you see she posted, by the way, on Instagram? She was like, not waiting for anything in 2018.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, babe, go off.
Go off, yeah. No, yeah, I feel like, because CL she has a very strong personality, but like, I feel like she stayed in YG, I feel like, because that's her home, and like, obviously, like, she's been through, like, some shit in the past, like, 10 years of her career as a...
Well, more as a trainee.
No, yeah, trainee and everything, but, like, I feel like she has, like, what's Stockholm Syndrome with YG? Like, she knows how shitty it is, but she just can't leave, and, like, she knows that, like, they're not managing her right. They know, like, she knows that they're not...
it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's just not ideal, and like she just has to take control at a certain point, or like scream at YG to give her a comeback because. And
we know low key she's not really in trouble because if you go back to her Instagram page, that MV I believe is still there. So
they would have made her.
They would have made her take it down or kind of what's that called, like slap on the wrist, if they really did care. Which if anything, that's a bad thing. They literally don't care that much.
I know, yeah, like...
The execs, I mean. Not like the YG guy, probably, like... I personally believe there's receipts, but I don't think that YG and CL have a bad relationship. I think that was more of a Minzy thing.
Yeah, there's, like, a history.
But not with... like, Dara and CL, I think, were always fine.
But, like, it's like a thing... It's like a thing where, like... like, when you visit your friend's house and, like, they're getting yelled at by their parents... So you witness it and you're just like side-eyeing it like, I'm not a part of it.
Oh, no, I didn't see any of that. No,
like,
I didn't see.
I'm aware of it and like I saw exactly what happens. Like I feel like it's like kind of like that with CL and Dara. Maybe, I don't know, obviously there's like probably behind the scenes stuff going on, but like that's like the way I see their relationship,
Which, by the way, that kind of goes a little low-key with our, like going full circle, where we started talking about with this, well, not completely started, but we started relatively with talking about like branding. And one of the things that I do not agree with about YG is like how his image as a company, right? So what we were talking about before was the image of the idols, like being hard and like when you're in YG, this is how you look like and how you act like. But this is about the company. Yeah,
low key, like no, high key, like YG himself, I feel like, and also the company. They feel like as as a label, they feel like they have to be hard to like all these different entertainment companies. So like, you know, everything except SBS and NBC.
And I guess now JTBC.
JTBC, yeah. Like, because obviously there's probably like things that happen where they couldn't compromise. So YG was just like, instead of compromising, trying to find a middle ground, he's just like, no, like, fuck you, like, we're gonna cut you off. Or you're gonna cut us off or whatever.
Yeah.
And like obviously that's why they don't show up on anything. Even the mamas now, which I'm kind of...
Oh, right.
Yeah, like I don't
know. This is 2 years in a row that he didn't go.
I don't know if that's gonna be like a normal thing now, where they're just not gonna be at the mamas, which rip the mama ratings, because YG artists are like...
Do you think that they did the countries thing because of... They wanted to spice it up? Because YG, like, they're losing ratings?
I think it was because of the THAAD stuff. Cause
well, no, that's true.
Yeah,
the China thing.
They didn't want to... I think they just didn't want to give all of the control to Hong Kong. Mm-hmm. Because there was 3. There was Vietnam, Japan, and Hong Kong.
The thing is, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Hong Kong was its own territory. It's capitalist. It's not like how China is. It's freedom. It's free. Mm-hmm. But they're a part of China now again. So they split off on their own, and now they're part. So I guess there's just a little risk.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we were, full disclaimer, we were talking about this before we started. We don't know the exact details of the politics.
Yeah.
So we're not going to really speak on THAAD and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's just its own thing. Mm-hmm. But that's a good point. Kind of segueing off with the whole stubbornness of the YG company is the opposite, is SM. Mm-hmm. So we did YG. We started with YG because that's like the most bad shit we've seen, basically. Yeah. SM now is...
they're not doing terrible, but there's receipts. So like, we're going to touch on them.
Yeah, low-key. It's like more of like a... Instead of being like, YG, like, can you calm down? Like, can you pipe down? Yeah. And when I say YG and SMJ, we're talking about the companies, not the people, right? Not the guys, not the faces that you think of, the companies. Like, pipe down. And then like, SM is more like, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean? Like that. So the first thing we have here is like, you know, we don't know the full politics, but why were Lay and Victoria stuck in China? And we low-key mean stuck literally. Like, Lay took a picture with EXO, like Baekhyun and Suho, and we were like, oh my god, what the...
It was CBX, yeah.
The CBX, right. It was like, what the hell? Oh my god.
Because we hadn't really seen like EXO and Lay interactions since like literally February, I think, was the last time OT9 was
OT9. That CBX picture was like in the fall, and unfortunately Lay had to go back to Korea for the whole Jonghyun situation. Yeah. RIP. Literally RIP. Mm-hmm. But so he did, and I love that. I love that he actually went back. Yeah. And Victoria did too. They both went. Even like, I think Luhan went.
Yeah, Luhan, and I think
Tao just... I don't know if Tao went, but he made a statement. Yeah. Right? So our whole thing is like, you know, we know that there's politics in play, but it's more like...
Yeah, we don't know the exact details.
I just don't think... And this is another thing that we're torn apart, because I'm here like, quote unquote, more on the YG side of things, where it's like, if something hurts or helps your company, like your brand, your value, your vision, your mission, however you want to call it, go with that thing. Whereas you're more like,
I know.
Oh, let's zoom out.
Yeah, because I know that the THAAD issue is a lot bigger than what we see on, you know, TV screens. Like, SM they have partnerships with companies from China, and this whole issue has forced SM to kind of back down from like, or SM artists who are connected to those companies. Like, they can't, for example, Lay and Victoria, like, they can't show up on Korean entertainment because of all these issues, all these ties that SM doesn't want to break. That's
a very important thing. I just want to really emphasize that. They can't even be seen in Korean media. Basically. That's why Lay is not... You guys might be thinking, well, what's the big deal if Lay goes to an Exor... Or now Elysian. Like, if he shows up to it. He can't even be seen. Yeah. Right? Like, him going to Korea for Jonghyun was probably a big deal. You know.
And I think the picture with CBX was on Weibo, so it was like, it's not on Korean media.
It's Chinese, Weibo. I low-key was thinking about getting a Weibo, dude.
No, I did, but it's all Chinese. It's like really hard.
I know Chinese on my Beetlejuice shit. No, I'm kidding. I'm just
no. Yeah, no, it's like hard to navigate if you don't know the language.
I'm used to when there's this Chinese website called Taobao. It's like what we have here. It's like a better AliExpress. It's like more vendor based. It's not whatever. Point is that I was using a lot of Google Chrome Translate for that, the feature.
Yeah, it's really bad. You have to go to like tutorials to
navigate. And you have to really get into it. Or we can pull a Seungri and use it to learn Chinese.
To learn Chinese, yeah.
You know, why are my hyungs not listening to me?
Is it like still only that, like his Twitter, or has
he? No, now he tweets, but like the way that he uses Instagram, where it's just
like promotion for stuff.
Yeah, like his life.
Yeah.
Not really like to learn, like not to joke around.
That's hilarious.
Which, by the way, if any of you guys don't know, go back and look up like old receipts of like Twitter Seungri. It's freaking gold.
It's hilarious.
But we said Victoria, the word Victoria, and that segues into our next thing.
FX.
Just FX.
My babies. So.
By the way, FX is her ultimate female bias group.
Yeah.
See, you're learning about us as we go.
So obviously, as a thirsty, or rather as a
hungry and thirsty.
Hungry and thirsty Miyu. We know that for the past almost 3 years, there's been virtually no OT4 work besides all mine, obviously. But official comeback, official anything. There's been very few things, and yeah, I understand 2016. Kind of. The way that I see it is that 2016 was going to be like a break year for FX, but then the whole China issue happened, so it kind of prolonged the break into 2017. But 2017 could have had more. I feel like of anything besides, obviously I love Loonber, but like all we got was Loonber station stuff. There could have been Crystal.
Like different combinations.
Yeah, different combinations. Crystal. If Victoria's out of the picture, which obviously
quote, unquote,
is the case, it could have been Crystal, Luna, Crystal, Amber, or Loonber. Yeah, like just more in general. OT3. I mean,
well, you could. It doesn't have to look like you can do it OT3.
But it could be.
I don't even want to call it OT3.
No, yeah, it's F and then
F3.
Like Luna, Crystal, Amber.
Or like I was thinking, I joked around. We like to just joke around, like, oh, like if we were in charge of the. That's what we joked about earlier, like creative consulting, is because we like come up with some cool stuff sometimes. So like I personally believe that like, and I'll put up a nice little logo or some shit, on Premiere, but like F3, like so instead of FX, right? Because F, Luna, Amber, Victoria might be too long.
Yeah.
So like F. And then the number 3, or maybe F Roman numeral 3, or it's too hipster. I would say F and then 3 like horizontal lines.
Oh my
That's
God.
too hipster.
That's hipster.
But dude, what's the deal with Victoria's solo? Like,
Where is it?
Like she said, coming soon.
We got teasers, like actual teaser images, and like just coming soon. No dates, no anything. Coming soon usually means like it's gonna be a while. I noticed, and it's been more than a year since the first.
Because if you notice, we always talk about this too. SM doesn't play with us. Like SM will be like,
"Oh yeah, usually it's
this is SM, right? Check your phone."
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, and then whoa, and then you open it and it's just like, X person's coming back.
Yeah.
She had to do it in her own way, which is fine. But I'm waiting for that day. I'm waiting for the day that we go FX official on like viral.
Yeah.
And then like. It's a Victoria,
exactly.
or obviously, or FX as a group.
Which, oh my God, the day
the Loomber thing, the day of the Loomber thing, you were like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? But then like, I kind of expected it. I feel like because I think there was news of like a Loomber station comeback. I don't know, but like let's just say the day that OT4 comes back as a whole, which I feel that it's gonna be this year. I think so because lately the whole China issue has been lightening up, yeah. So hopefully Lei can come back and Victoria can come back and F4 come back.
Yeah,
if you want to call it that. But so yeah, speaking of solo activities, I feel like with FX, these solo activities that, by the way, for each member, it's completely separate from each other. Besides like the recent Loomber thing, everyone has been separate. and I believe they only got back together recently for like the whole Jonghyun thing. But
which I think is fine because naturally like groups like that was almost happening with SHINee, where like there was literally like verbatim. I think it was like Key or Jonghyun said it, but it was like, yeah, we're our friendship is based on business or something like that. No, I don't remember the exact verbatim quote, but
it was taken wrongly, out of context.
Yeah,
out of context.
It was
because their relationship was literally started because of business
of a company,
and then through the years you become close. And I think that's actual best friends. They talked about that in the what's the show called?
Knowing Brothers?
No,
Weekly Idol.
The one that with Suho and Chanyeol and Chen.
Oh, Happy Together.
Happy Together, yeah. They were on Happy Together for one of one.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And like they talked about that whole quote where like Jonghyun said that, but he really just.
I remember that now. He clarified.
Yeah, he clarified it. So yeah, what were you saying with that though?
No, what people were assuming that he meant was that their friendship is at a point where it's just strictly about SHINee. It's not about them as brothers, right? Not that obviously we know that wasn't the case, but I think what people are assuming is what I was saying about FX about like them being separated. Like Amber was in LA for like a long time. Yeah. Victoria's in China. Crystal's been acting, killing the game again. It's just doing the final thing. And Luna has been doing. She's like actress now,
she's on,
like live
musicals,
actress on her key shit. But like the thing is that like that's fine. Like if they need time apart, hopefully they come back and are even more close.
No, yeah, and it's almost like these solo activities give the illusion that there's FX activities. So if Muse are like, where are my girls? They'll just be like,
hey, like, don't you appreciate this though?
Yeah, here's Crystal's drama. Here's Luna's...
Crystal's like experimental solo track.
Yeah, that was
a good track though.
Really great. Yeah. Good. Like here's Luna's musical. Here's
it's like a cop out.
Here's What the Pineapple.
Yeah.
And like Victoria's stuff, yeah. So it's like, oh, like they're technically here, you can't complain.
Yeah.
Which actually was it a month or like not long ago there was actually I think Muse themselves like literally sued SM for like misproper.
I think I
treatment.
did hear about that. Yeah.
And it was like me, like just
mood.
Yeah, mood.
Fat mood.
So yeah, I feel like SM just they see them as like just
an accessory.
No, Siri. As an accessory, and like they're just cruising, and like they need money, so they have them doing stuff to bring money to SM. So I don't know.
Because again, going back to the business side, groups are like an investment, quote unquote. You spend, for example, I'm taking a course. I'm majoring in entertainment management at my school. I'm taking a course right now called Revenues and Relationships. My professor just told us that. Now, the numbers are for here in the West in a big label, but just pretend that number applies there. Let's just pretend, right? It takes $1 million, anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million to debut an artist. I can probably put up like the breakdown of that. When I edit this, I can probably break that down into what goes where. But SM, when he debuted FX, let's just say for all intents and purposes, he spent that money. Recording, promotion, marketing, styling, anything that you can think of, right? They want a return. Like, that's just real. Like, EXO happens to be their biggest return, but I would argue that SM got some sort of lump sum of cash in, like, 2002 and was like, they debuted TVXQ, Super Junior, CJSN, whatever. I probably messed up that order. SNSD, SHINee, FX all in a row because he's like, it's like hedging your risks. Like, it's true because like TVXQ TVXQ didn't pop off until around SHINee's debut, like Neurotic. Like
that was like their hit, but like since
they've been popular, but they're hit.
They're
Super Junior, I don't really know exactly when they popped off. I don't know.
I feel like it
was
what
year?
Yeah, I'm not an elf.
Probably 09 or we're not elves. We loved Super Junior, by the way. Love. We're just not stands. Yeah.
But it helps that like those groups that he that
SHINee took off from the jump though. Let's be real.
Pretty much, yeah. Those groups that he debuted like in a row, it helps that they were all different in their own way. You know what I mean?
Which kind of we can talk about the YG branding thing. It's like SM did not care about that at all. SM was like, FX is the weird homie. SHINee are these bright, colorful R&B kids. SNSD is like the girls.
The nation's girls, yeah.
Yeah, and then TVXQ is like Final Fantasy characters at the time.
Weird.
Super Junior. Okay, so apparently the gimmick of Super Junior, which is why their name is that they were already models and actors before they ever debuted. So the goal was that when Super Junior debuted, people at home already knew who they were. At least some of the people in the group. They would be like, oh, that's this kid from this show, or this kid from, I've seen him at a CF or something like that. But what I was trying to say was that him debuting all these groups kind of, if one group is on a like not really at a peak, it's kind of at a low point, another group's peak point can cover that. It's offsetting it.
And no matter what, you're making money from these groups.
From something. And we think that, obviously maybe they got too much money from all those groups, so like now they don't do just weird inverse effect where like now he just sits on them, sits on FX. This is kind of what we're talking about here. It's like FX is like,
and they're profitable. Like,
oh yeah,
their albums sold obviously not as much as EXO. Like, we can't compare anything to EXO.
EXO and BTS are like the anomalies.
They're like
in
outliers,
reality.
and like you can't compare anything to them. But the problem is, I feel like a lot of labels do compare them. So like,
which is bad. Yeah.
If they don't get on their level, then they're like, you're a failure.
Yep.
Which is a terrible way to think. But FX sells, like, even just like with the singles, like, they're worth the money.
I want to bet that All Mine, which was part of Station Season 1,
it did sell.
I bet you that's one of the most listened to, like in Genie, Melon, whatever place, one of the most listened to station songs of that entire thing.
Yeah.
Probably of the entire thing ever. Red Velvet's one, Suho's one, Hyoyeon's one, All Mine, like all the like really big ones. All Mine is still near the top. Yeah, it's up there.
Which I'm kind of
low-key curious about. We're on Wikipedia right now, just looking at singles. Go all the way down. All Mine.
That's good for like a non...
No, look. For a non-promoted, never promoted ever song, it sold 241... higher, a little bit more that.
And to put it into perspective, Red Light sold only 554,000. Or no, is it downloads or sales? I think it's
sales.
It says sales.
Not streams.
No,
sales.
Sales. And like,
which is good.
So that's
and then
good.
on Four Walls did 700, is that right? Yeah, 750 something. But Four Walls was huge.
Yeah.
All Mine was not even talked about. And for it to do that good, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
FX, don't sleep on FX. And that's, again, that's what we're going over. It's like mistakes these companies are making. What can we do? I mean,
it's sad because like recently, like I've been on this very like hardcore FX hype train. Like I just like watch a whole bunch of like live videos, everything, and like in the comment sections, it's like this group could have hit it big if like SM didn't sleep on them. Like where are they? Like new people who are new to FX are like, where are these girls?
Where are these? That's what we're talking about too. Is like we're not the only people. All these things that we're talking about. That's the whole point of this show. It's like. These are things that you guys know too.
Yeah, and like we've seen people like ask these questions, so
it's not exactly. It's not. We're not making this stuff up. Go back. This is more of a lighthearted one that I want to touch on real quick. By the way, just take off 10 minutes from that because we mess around. We just want to touch on this real quick. If you are an N citizen in 2017 or now in 2018, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But we were there for their debut. When they debuted as NCT U, #free10, I went back and watched Lee Soo Man's Neo Culture Technology press conference he did at that like fancy holographic 3D place auditorium in the SM building.
Yeah, it's in SM.
It's either in SM building or in COEX, but we saw that. I mean, I saw it. I didn't watch it again. I'll be fair.
I watched it like a long time ago.
I watched it a long time ago. Yeah. But in that, he was pitching, and I'm sure like in the audience was like the press and like investors potentially and like business people.
He was talking about, first it was Viral, and then Station, and then NCT.
I think he like touched on everything.
A little bit, yeah.
Viral, Station, and then that's when he debuted, or not debuted, but unveiled Taeyeon Rain, which is the first song ever of Station. And
I feel like
then NCT.
Yeah, the vibe that I got when I saw that moment of like and the next like boy group, the vibe that I got was when Steve Jobs announced the first iPhone. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like the next big
Like
thing.
it's like da-na-na-na, but that's not all. How was it again? It was the gag is or like I think that's what Steve Jobs said. It was like Oh, no. He said, but there's one more thing.
Yeah.
And then he would say the big reveal. And what happened was that, just to clarify for those who might not know what I'm talking about even, Lee Soo Man talked about his plans for what became NCT, right? He even unveiled the NCT Seventh Sense. It wasn't the song, but it was the little short film called The Seventh Sense, that trailer. And then the guys, all OT 90, did like, in masks, this really cool dance. And you can kind of tell which member of SM Rookies was who. But the point I'm trying to make here is that he said, one of the things he said was, hey, any member from NCT-A, and he was using these letters as placeholders, can collaborate with any member from NCT-B. Where?
Where?
We
I
got
want to see the receipts.
the receipts. You know, we so far in this point in time, we've gotten NCT U's double single, loved it. Fire Truck EP, Dream single, Limitless EP.
My first and last
single,
Cherry Bomb
EP, and then We Young EP, the NCT Dream EP. So far that's great, but I want to see fucking Haechan and Taeil doing like a song together, like vocal, or like Johnny, Mark, like the rap line. Like we don't see that because they or like a dance line, like Taeyong, Ten, Jeno, and Jisung, like the dancers of NCT. Did I miss somebody?
I'm thinking.
Rip Hansel.
I was missing someone. I was Hansel.
It was Hansel. That would have been a good 5-member unit, but too bad, right? That's not happening. So that's something that like SM is like not doing. But here's the gag. Lee Soo Man said that there would be an NCT Korea, which is 127, NCT Japan, China unit, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and I think Europe. Like, he literally went real ambitious. But, like, that's fine. But this is what makes it bad. He set deadlines. He was like, by this time, by quarter 3, by this of this year. And we're in quarter 4. I think we're still technically quarter 4 of 2017, like, fiscally. But whatever. The point is that, like, we're in objective January of 2018. And none of this has happened. None of this. Like, he's did 127, okay, cool, the Korea unit. U, the modular, amorphous, ambiguous unit. And Dream, the kid unit. Love that. But where's everything else? I don't know what that boils down to as far as, like, why. I think it was just, like, reality hit him.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
Oh,
and like,
junk. Like, the framework and the time frame for the things we need to debut this and this plan and the money and this and that didn't happen how he thought. Or maybe he was just bullshitting to his investors. Like, that's probably real, too.
Yeah. But a few months ago, or like a month or two ago, I saw something about NCT Vietnam being
and before that, NCT Asia.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. None of them happened. NCT... well, there's a rumored, like, Shanghai unit with, like, Kun, Win-Win, Jaehyun, Hansol, Johnny...
But wasn't that before the China issue?
Oh, yeah.
So then that...
And then I forgave that. Yeah. I was like, the China issue, that's all fine. Yeah. But we could have had a Japan unit.
Yeah, I was going to say that. But they gave us NCT Dream instead.
No, that too, but even worse. Instead of a Japan unit, they just released Limitless in Japanese.
Yeah. Why?
When
you... it's funny that, like, NCT's whole concept is that, like, there can be units for, like, each country, each, you know...
and it's rotational in the members, potentially.
But then they decided to debut...
Like there's a Spanish word we use for it, like fixed.
Yeah.
It's a fixed group.
Yeah.
NCT Dream is even worse. It's graduational. Yeah. So when Mark leaves Dream, and then Jenna
are you sure, like, is that,
they said
like,
it's a graduation team. Yeah.
Well, now I don't believe him now.
And then now it's NCT 127 is a fixed team. U is like they just did a station song. Yeah. To be fair, but what the hell?
That is refreshing that they decided to call it NCTU because
they
could have just called it NCT, like, even 127 because they're all 127. Yep. But it's nice that they
called it U, which means there's a chance.
Yeah. Usually I notice with SM or like with a lot of like any like idol or group whatever, when there's like some type of activity that revitalizes their like awakeness. I don't know. Like, usually that means they're gonna come back.
That is very true.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Sometime. So hopefully within this year we get you come back.
Point is, I guess wrapping up NCT, Don't promise things you can't deliver on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bullshit to your investors. Rip Hansel. I was gonna say free Hansel, but he's already gone.
Rip.
Although I wish him literal all the best of luck
yeah.
in J-Flow and the unit and all that. And everybody follow Hansel on Instagram. No, yeah. NCT is just not what it's set out to be, but they're still a great group.
Yeah, I think I can call myself an citizen.
Yeah, no, I love them.
Yeah, I love
because we've been with them since the start.
Yeah. It's just like the whole like business plan, action plan, whatever SM is trying to do that they didn't come through with that, I guess.
I wish. EXO and Red Velvet.
They're like the top
beautiful.
Groups. Yeah,
Can't complain about anything so far. Like 2017 was Red Velvet's year. It's incredible. And then EXO's doing they're killing it. Dio's bald. I love that.
The egg.
What an egg. And finally, guys, time's kind of lengthening as we're going by.
Yeah.
But to wrap up the big three, we got JYP. So not much to talk about here because JYP's gotten a lot. Like overall, JYP to me is the most humane, ethical, upstanding out of the big three.
Yeah. There's like. Out of the big three, they have the less problems.
It's just decisions that they make. It's not really like YG with the dungeon and SM with like the bullshit. It's just like
the only problem, the biggest problem I guess that you can say with JYP is Miss A, obviously RIP.
Which by the way, RIP.
Yeah, and the way they handled them in terms of like, I guess because obviously like how to explain it, everyone loves everyone. Like if you're I don't know the Miss A fandom name, what is it?
We suck. Sorry, guys.
We suck. Miss A.
When it comes to Gen 2 groups, we're more FX, SNSD, 21.
Like in girl group wise. Yeah.
Girl group wise, yeah.
Say A.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, what's the word? Yeah, Say A's.
We suck for not knowing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Say A's love everyone. Don't get me wrong. It's just when it comes to like promoting their group as a whole, JYP did not do that for the most part. They mainly promoted Suzy, which is one of the biggest cases of that in K-pop history. That's happened a lot, obviously, but obviously she's like a visual. She's also a vocalist.
She's acting
actress. So like.
By the way, did you hear that rumor? This is some hot tea here. Did you hear the rumor that a guy on the board, the chairman, like not chairman, like a guy on the. Like when you think of those corporate thugs, guys in suits with like cigars and like hors d'oeuvres and like a long ass business table and like there's like 20 guys and you never see their face. One of those guys like had the tea. This is a complete rumor here, but the tea is that one of those guys has a thing for Suzy. He's like one of these, these old guys who like
investors who like want stuff.
It's like a joke that I made. It's like. Yeah, after I grabbed Tiffany, I said she could have a solo, told her to run off, like that kind of thing.
Probably happens.
Yeah, that's something.
At least back then. I know it definitely happened back then. I don't know about
It could happen like today.
Recently.
We don't know.
But
because Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And Korea's even more hush hush.
Hush hush.
So
but I know investors.
We can talk. Actually, I was thinking we can make a whole episode about like shade, tea, darkness.
Yeah, like darkness, which I have to research. Like the turbo thing. Remember that I was saying yesterday? That's hot tea.
That's hot tea. So we're gonna do that, guys. That'll be a controversial hot potato topic, but I don't know why I just said hot potato. But essentially what we're saying is apparently a guy in that board was like, he had a thing for Suzy and like told JYP to push her more. And that's why she got more famous.
I think I literally heard about that a little bit. Like,
because if you guys go back, Suzy was not a visual in Miss A during the beginning. It was mostly, I want to say, not Faye, the vocalist.
No, I know their names. It's
We can pull it up.
Yeah.
We guys, to all the guys and girls who stand Miss A, we apologize. We do love Miss A.
Yeah,
we love every single group.
Yeah. Okay.
Seriously.
So, I know. Yeah. Faye.
I think Gia.
She's a Chinese one who left.
Well, I don't know. Now I don't know. But the point is,
I think it was Min actually. What the fuck?
No, I think you're right.
No, Min. It was Min.
Who was like the more pushed member?
Min was in the GOT7 like night. What's it called? Dream Night, the web show. She was in it as like the crush of Jackson.
I thought she hilarious.
Yeah, and I didn't know
JYP family.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, basically she apparently wasn't supposed to be the main...
And then she got pushed up.
Yeah.
Apparently that's the tea, is that it was by this guy in the boardroom who like had a thing for her and wanted her to kind of be more...
Yeah.
Because when you're the investor in a company like in the big three, and you have a large share of the pie, if you will, what you say goes. I mean, business is business. And again, this is why we're making this podcast. It's to educate, quote unquote. Because again, I'm studying entertainment management, and we just always have like an ear to the ground. Like we're always thinking more on the business and artistic side of things, rather than like just to use the same joke I said before, rather than being like us Blinks, and I'm using Blackpink because at the time they don't have any work, and we love them. I'm just messing around when I use them as an example, but you know, give us more Blackpink music, please. Like
it is warranted though, because
it's warranted.
We only have 5 songs.
We only have 5 songs. All I'm saying is that rather than kind of being like turning on the camera and being like, we're mad, it's more like, okay, but let's think about why.
Yeah, like
and let's have a
why.
discussion. Right? That's kind of the whole podcast.
That's how, things get done, I guess.
And we had these conversations anyway. Really quick, though, wrapping up JYP, another thing that I wanted to touch on was, that we have written down here is, like, this is actually a bad thing. Like a bad thing. This is more of like a, literally, thinking about why.
Yeah.
Twice. We love Twice, you know. But the thing is, if you guys pay attention, in, like, Ooh Ah, their debut song, they had hard. A really hard... Like, the way I think about it is, like, I think I have, like, a very visual thinker. Like, you know? So when I think of, like, Ooh Ah, I think of, like, camo, black, and red. Like, those are colors that are, like... Camo is, like, not masculine, but it's very, like, associated with ruggedness. Yeah. Black is, like, black. Like, dark. And then red is, like, red, like, fiery, right? Not to get symbolic on your asses, but... You know what I'm saying?
A little pink in there because, like... their comeback or their debut wasn't like we're hard, but like it was still like it had like the slightest bit of like,
it's an aesthetic thing,
like girliness to it, but for the main part it was like
the song was kind of girly too.
The song was like pretty, like,
we're not saying make like trap beats and stuff.
It was just like the image, like the aesthetic or whatever was like pretty hard.
The reason why we're bringing any of this up is because go to the next comeback. By the way, we got into Twice during Cheer Up era. Cheer Up to me, now if we're going visually, is white and like mint green. That's like the colors I think of with Twice. We have a Twice poster right here, right?
Can you see it?
Right there.
No,
yeah. We can't see in the frame, but
it's right above the bookshelf.
It's above the bookshelf. And like peach.
Yeah, you should have the album covers.
Okay, fine, but you get my point. What I'm saying though is,
but yes,
it's a pastel, lighter color scheme, and the song was not really girlier. It was just like. It was more the same, major.
Yeah, it was more major, but it was still like
more bubbly, but
more
not
like it was kind of ramping up the girliness.
And then TT happened, and TT was costumes. To be fair, it wasn't really like we're girly. It was like costumes.
The promotion outfits, which was like not the costumes. It was like minimal, like blocky, like but still like
pale wave, not pale wave.
It was like kind of pale, like or pastel colors, and like let me just pull up like when you're.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be showing off images here of what we're talking about, so you guys have a visual key of what we're talking about.
Yeah, like with those promotion outfits, obviously, like they were ramping up even more the girliness, because with Cheer Up, it was mainly like cheering outfits. Yeah, basically, it was like literally.
But like mixed with it was like athletic,
like cheer gear, basically.
Yeah.
And then.
On the photo shoot, not that one, but the photo shoot, like the album cover where they're just like looking off into the distance, they weren't.
No, yeah.
It was just like customized clothes.
Yeah. But for the promotions, it was mainly like that. And like the stages were like hardcore, like football, like all that shit. But so yeah.
Twice was low key like athletic, in the first 2 comebacks, like with the Bulls uniforms, and then the second was like Lakers instead.
Exactly, yeah. And then TT, and then dang, they have a lot of shit.
Now they have, wait,
what? This came
Japanese.
out?
It's Japanese.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Sana, you didn't see the memes? Sana was like, she had like a wig. She was on some she was on some J-pop stuff.
Really?
Like the wig. It's like, do you remember that leak image of? It's leaked because it was a teaser of Red Velvet in Happiness, where it was like each member had like a bob wig of like the color of their color,
yeah.
Like that aesthetic of like I don't know how to explain it, like very J-pop.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
like that. But no, like we don't. By the way, this isn't bad. We're saying. You want to be girly? Hit me with the girliness. Oh yeah, 2017 was lit for them. But like, we don't care about that. What we're talking about is the why. It's like JYP saw like I don't know. Because
Yeah.
from Like Ooh to Cheer Up, that's fine. Like from one to the next, that's fine.
But you could tell that because Cheer Up, like obviously, like
Cemented
that was
it.
almost basically the song of 2016. So like he saw that they got all this fame, all this attention and shit. So like I feel like he looked at like what works for girl groups in terms of like getting them the attention they need, and it's almost like they need to have that girly image, which he decided to push a little more, as you could see from TT outfits, and even like Knock Knock as well, Signal. I'm trying to look at like the comebacks here to see like, because I was there for like all the promotions.
All of them, yeah.
I look at like the music shows
Yeah.
and stuff. So he wanted to make them a little more girly to fit that image that was necessary for a girl group to hit it big. And I mean, obviously, like look at where they are today. I feel like
they're really well off.
yeah, I feel like if they would have stayed hard or whatever, I don't know, like they could have just as well hit it big. But like, it probably, do you think it would have clashed with Blackpink?
Well, the reality is, in YG, quotes, it doesn't matter because YG.
I feel like he would have like what's the word?
Tried to tip the scales.
He would have situated himself so that
accordingly.
It would be different enough from Twice. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's why JYP did Cheer Up the way that he did, is to ensure. Because if you do Like Ooh and Cheer Up and they both succeed and they're different images, like they're both in the same vein. It's just one of them is there's just different color palettes. I think that's what I was trying to say with the colors. But JYP's ensuring, his position, because YG, for those of you who don't know, in 2012 set out to make the next SNSD. It was going to be 9 members. It was called Pink Punk. It was going to have the 4 members of Blackpink we know today and 5 other girls. Those are the 2 we mentioned earlier that left. And JYP beat him to the punch in 2015 with Twice. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about like what would YG have done instead in response. And like we said, this is more of like, this is not a mistake. It's more like why.
Yeah,
right?
just like
we were joking about including GOT7 in it, but we were like, wait a second, they're actually okay. Yeah, we're fine.
There hasn't been like too many problems with them.
Just Jin Young's haircut in Girls.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're peachy.
Yeah. You better put that picture in there.
Oh yeah, big old like it's gonna be like big old fat image. Yeah, my favorite thing about him though is when like that he's not really killing it, like he's not really fly, and his face tells it all. He's just like because Jin Young is like real. Jin Young is like he does not care. He's like a diva, low key.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean we have hella stuff that we talked about, so I think that's about an hour and 5 minutes even, which I think is a good time. So I think what we should do is not next, like and in the future, do like the same thing but with smaller labels like Pledis.
I want to talk about
Fantagio. Oh yeah, she's a new East stan. Like she recently. Oh yeah, and I'm a Carrot Af. Like 17 is like my favorite new group. Like Gen 3, like new 2015, and now is the new quote unquote new gen.
14 and 15.
14, 15. Like Winter is the cutoff.
Probably.
Well, no, is Winter considered now or with EXO? Icon's now.
Yeah, Icon's definitely now.
Like now.
But 14's like
I think Winter just stands alone.
Yeah, but like 2014 is like a weird period where it's like they still feel like kind of the new generation, but they still kind of feel in the later or in the earlier generation.
They're in this middle ground.
It's
like how B1A4 is like not quite Gen 3, it's not quite Gen 2.
Yeah, they're like right in the middle.
They're in the middle. But yeah, no, so what we're going to do is, this is the big 3. We're going to eventually talk about the smaller labels. Not quite next episode, but I don't even know what we're going to talk about next episode.
Right.
We have like just this database of ideas, and I don't know. Other than that, if you hear people walking, it's our parents, because this microphone picks up decent amount of stuff. We real, we raw. Yeah, I mean, this was Model Netizen. Like we said, we just really want to point out things we're observing, but these deeper topics. It's not like, hey guys, did you hear about this week? Like things you'd find on Twitter or Reddit or Instagram. Like that's not what we're talking about.
We don't want like superficial, surface level type stuff.
Like if we watch this video in 2 years from now, we hope that the concepts resonate and remain. Whereas if you talk about like, guys, did you hear about Luhan's engaged? Like that only lasts for like that week.
Exactly.
The hype, right? So because the way we word it is like we want to provide value with this series. We want to talk about things that like are in the industry, things that are heavy.
Yeah, things that fans know about vaguely, or like they have complaints about certain things that are labeled
and
as
they want to know
groups.
the why.
Yeah, but they just know how to phrase it. I don't know if you mentioned that before. Yeah, they know how to phrase it, or like they don't know exactly why these things are happening. And hopefully we can provide some insight. I feel like we do think about things a lot in like the business aspect and like, you know, a little bit deeper, which is hopefully valuable to other people out there.
Last thing we'll say is like I literally don't care if we run over in time because this is very important. We had this idea for this podcast in mid to late 2017, like fall-ish. And then Jonghyun passed away in December, like mid-December. And at that point we were like, dude, we cannot hold off. Like, this is like the things that we want to do in life and accomplish and the things we want to see and experience and blah blah blah. Like he solidified that, like, screw that, like, just do it. Do the thing. Don't wait. And that's why we're just kicking our asses like into gear.
We weren't gonna start it this early in the year.
No,
we were gonna do it like
plan it out more.
We're gonna like maybe first half of the year, but like we
had to do it.
We felt like we had to like start in honor of him, I guess. So
and that's low key why high key why we chose Pearl Aqua as our main color for our channel. Kind of in honor of Inshani and of Jonghyun. So we just wanted to end off the episode with quite of a sad and somber note, but we felt like it's very important to bring that up during our... It's the truth, we wanted to bring that up in our first episode, and I'll never stop saying it, dude. Everything that we do in this channel is for Jonghyun. Like, we had this long-ass conversation, like, that's it, dude. Like, it's over. Like, Jonghyun forever. You know what I mean? Because he was, like this beacon, like this compass for
even
us before
he passed. Like,
he was one of my favorite idols, period.
Yeah, he was always an inspiration for everything. And like Shiny was literally my ultimate bias group. Like, I cared about all of them so much, and like they inspired me so much. So like, especially now, I feel like getting things done, doing things, doing the work for yourself is like the most important thing.
It's like the most gift you can give back to them and to him, you know. So yeah, this would end with that. If anybody made it this far, if anybody's watching this at all, we appreciate you. Let us know you were here. Comments, blah, blah, blah. Typical YouTube stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. That's all we have so far. Yeah. Well, not Facebook yet, right? Because I have to do the thing.
Instagram, Twitter mainly.
But Instagram and Twitter, we're going to hit that up. I'm going to post some stuff this week, probably on both.
Yeah.
Just let us know you heard us and we were terrible. If you guys literally hated this, we're spewing bullshit, just thumbs down this video.
And comment, tell us,
just roast us. Roast
please.
Us. Because what we'll do is we'll end up adapting, because I feel like we're flexible and malleable. So we'll adapt to what you guys kind of, oh, hey, like, you guys didn't touch on this enough. Or you got blah, blah, blah.
Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Don't be too petty, but keep it real.
Yeah. So anyway, with that, guys, thank you so much again. We're Model Netizen. Love.